Hey, beautiful. We're going to talk about wasted energy. Now, I have wasted a lot of energy over the course of my life, and I bet you have too, making yourself wrong for everything, maybe even making other people wrong for things. And it's a whole lot of heavy energy that doesn't actually help us grow, learn, expand, evolve, feel better in any way. So there's an opportunity for us to make a little bit of a shift in our perspective. And this is something that I have really been able to actually hone in on over the last, I would say, 10 years, but really the last 3. And it has shifted my energy field and expanded it so freaking much that I want to share this with you too. So we get to stop making ourselves wrong for all of the mistakes that we have. The mistakes that we've made, the things that we should have done when we should have known better. All of that energy that we put onto making ourselves wrong contracts our energy field, and it makes us feel worse, and it doesn't actually support us in choosing something else, right? It really just makes it feel heavy. Now, in the past, I had this belief system that if I didn't make myself wrong, if I didn't beat myself up for not doing things as well as I thought I should or could, then if I didn't beat myself up for that, I would not grow. I wouldn't get better. I don't know where I picked that up from. I think it's just something that is in our collective right now. It's something that we see modeled. People making a mistake and then going oh, I'm so stupid, right? We have a society where we're judged on how well or not well we do things. But there is an ability to remove the judgments and remove the shoulds and remove all of that heavy, crunchy energy that's taking up a lot of our time and our space and our attention and limiting our possibility by understanding that those mistakes, let's put it in quote mistake because I don't really believe in mistakes. Those mistakes, those errors that we make, those failures that we have are actually essential. Like truly. If we were never wrong about anything, what would be the point of being here? Just to be an example of perfection? I mean, maybe, but it's a pretty unattainable example. We, as humans, are figuring out how to be these magical, multidimensional, sparks of the infinite and also be human at the same time. And we're learning to grow and evolve, and we put ourselves through the ringer, through really difficult situations so that we can learn and grow. Without those mistakes and failures and errors, we would have no information, no data to improve, right? To extract the lesson. It's just this opportunity for us to actually learn and grow and try on something new. And I know that the more we are trying, the more we are growing, the more we're expanding, the more we're learning something new, the more mistakes we make. But if we don't waste the energy of going oh, such a stupid, I can't believe it did that, and we completely make it morally neutral and don't put the judgments upon it, and we go, that didn't work. Okay, so what did I learn? And what can I try next time instead? Then we have this spaciousness inside of us to extract the lesson, take that information, and do something with it, right? Apply it next time. If you're stuck, paralyzed in the, it was so stupid, how could I do that energy, you might not even try again. You don't have the desire to try again and possibly make another mistake because you don't want to be punished by your own inner voice again, right? It doesn't feel good. People don't want to have that experience. And then oftentimes we just don't try. Like, we get paralyzed by this desire or need for perfection because our internal judge is being such a jerk to us. When we can remove that inner judge, that inner critic, and again, create that neutrality where we can just look and be like, okay, what is the lesson here? What can we pull out of it? What can we create now? There's nothing but opportunity. There's nothing but space, right? They say a master has failed more than a beginner has even tried. And I know that to be true because there have been several things in my life that I have practiced enough to master. Going back to hula hooping, I was a professional hula hooper, and I definitely spent more than 10,000 hours in my hula hoop, and it's been about 12, 13 years since I began, and I did it obsessively for hours, and I took classes, and I spent hours in my backyard. I learned from other people. I learned the most from making mistakes. And when I would have students who would be like, how can I get as good as you? Teach me. I would say, just gotta practice. I'll give you the skills, but truly your body has to just put the muscle movement in so it can create the muscle memory. And you have to go all the way to the edge of your comfort zone into the learning zone, or outside of your comfort zone into the learning zone, and make the mistakes and drop your hoop and fall over and do all of that. In order to actually grow and get good and gain that mastery so you could just do whatever you wanted, right? And I would say 99% of the people that I would say that to were like, I don't want to practice. And when they were practicing and making mistakes, you could see it deflate them. Their energy would just kind of like collapse and be like, I just can't do it. I can't get it. I suck, right? Their inner critic was basically cock blocking them from making any progress because they were assuming that the failures were a bad thing. So I love turning it around. And when kids would drop their hoop, I would actually tell them to cheer, and the whole class would cheer sometimes. And we would just make it a fun thing and celebrate those mistakes because they meant that you were in your learning zone, you were in your growing zone. Things were actually happening. New neurons were being made. There was all kinds of things that were happening in that situation. And it was part of the learning process. And I'm pretty sure all of us came to this planet to learn and to grow. And so when we make ourselves wrong for making the mistakes, we're making ourselves wrong for trying something new, for growing, for evolving, for wanting to expand. And it completely hinders the evolutionary process. What if we could do as my mentor in belief repatterning, Suze Casey, says, turn the inner critic into a coach instead, right? And start to use the voice of the inside of your head voice to say the things that you would like to hear, that would actually support you, that would actually make it easier for you to try again when you mess up. Because you're going to make mistakes on this journey. What if we could actually just shift that inner self-talk and make it positive? I can speak from being on this side of that now because I, over the last 4 years especially, training in belief repatterning, rewired my brain to say what I would say to a small child or a friend who made a mistake. It would be like, all right, nice work. What can we do next time to, get this right? What do we want to try? Instead of going like, oh my God, you're stupid idiot. How could you mess that up? No, we don't say that. Like, if you wouldn't say it to a 3-year-old, you shouldn't say it to yourself. We have an inner child. And the inner child, the part of us that is innocent and so closely connected to our divine, doesn't get the rationality of it, right? They need the support and encouragement. We actually all grow better from it. And the mistakes and the failures and the things that we do are these inevitabilities. So if we could stop wasting the freaking energy on making ourselves wrong for the failures, we would have so much more energy to try again, to create something new, right? I see this paralysis happening all of the time in clients, in students, where they just don't know where to begin because they're afraid of making a mistake. And I just want to invite us to completely destroy and uncreate the idea that mistakes are a bad thing. Okay? We have in our brain made mistakes and failures out to be bad. We're like, success good, mistake bad. It's not that simple. It'd be nice if it was, but it's not. Sometimes having success immediately right on the first try actually means that you don't learn what you need to learn from something, right? Like, it's all great and everything like that, but I know for myself, I have learned so much more from the things that I've messed up, right? Because they were like, okay, don't do that. And when I've made a mistake, when I've failed, when I have messed up, when I've effed up beyond all recognition, it's all just foobard, then I'm like, okay, there's a lot more information here than if I just breezed through it and it was effortless for me. And so what if the mistakes were part of the process? What if we could give as much celebration and weight to a mistake or a failure with the neutrality, without judgment, as we could to those successes? Because they mean we're a step closer. They mean that we are getting to where we want to go, which is just, that growth and evolution and learning and becoming an expert, right? A master. We get to put a different narrative in our head so that we can grow, especially if you're an artist, a creative, an entrepreneur, right? If you are hanging out and saying mistakes are bad and I don't want to make them, you are going to be hindering your ability to basically do anything, right? So what could we do? Well, first off, you could forgive yourself for believing that mistakes are bad, right? Mistakes are morally neutral. They just are, right? They don't make you a bad person, right? You're not doing a mistake on purpose. That's not a mistake then, right? It's not an accident. It's not an oopsie if you're doing it on purpose. You are human. Let's give ourselves permission to be human on this journey. Let's give ourselves permission to believe that mistakes are actually a desirable part of the growth and evolutionary purpose, right? And if desirable is too strong a word, let's say mistakes are inevitable and morally neutral, and an opportunity for us to get that information, right? To learn and grow. I've learned so much more from the launches that didn't work out as well in my program. I was like, okay. Because you know what? I mean, we can learn from our successes, and that's amazing, and we should. And if you have a success, you should deconstruct it and be like, what went well? What could we do different next time? All of that. But when you have a failure, then you're like, okay, now I know it didn't work. So what can we try that is different? What can we pull from this? You can hang out in the crappy judgments about the mistakes that you were inevitably going to make and drain your energy and make yourself feel crappy about them because you have this unrealistic expectation of perfection for yourself. Or we could start to apply this neutrality and stop making ourselves wrong and see that, like, the mistakes are perfect, right? The perfection is in the taking the lesson from it, right? If you make a mistake and you don't even acknowledge it and you refuse to like look at it, then you might be missing out on the opportunity, right? But let's erase the perfection paralysis and the fear of trying something new, of getting started, of trying something big and bold and beautiful that is on your heart to do. Let's let ourselves be human and make mistakes along the way and know that that's how we grow, right? You can try this out in little ways, right? If you, let's say here, if you go grocery shopping on an empty stomach and you buy more fast, convenient, sugary foods than maybe you would normally, instead of going, what an idiot I am, and like just heaping on all of the disgust and shame and judgment, which might then spiral you into like, well, I'm already a messed up like diet failure, so why don't I just eat all this food right now because it doesn't even matter, right? It could send you into that shame spiral. Why don't you go, oh, okay, I have made an error. It happens. I am human. I was hungry. What can I do next time? Oh, I should have a snack before I go to the grocery store. Yeah, I should have something like satiating, but not be so full that food is disgusting, because then I won't actually bring any other food home with me, and then I will be like, well, now I have actually nothing, no groceries for the week. Or better yet, you could like meal plan and make a list of what you're going to create, right? You don't have to make yourself wrong for what you did. You don't have to judge it. You don't have to be such a jerk to yourself, okay? It's actually going to make things easier. And it shifts that energy of like shame and crunching down your energy field and contracting you and making you feel like you have to hide, activating your nervous system, like, because we can do that to ourselves, right? Put ourselves in fight or flight with all of the nasty things we say to ourselves. And the coach, that inner voice that's actually supportive, can allow ourselves to retain that relaxed nervous system that gives us the opportunity to look for all of the possibilities, that gives us the chance to see what we could improve on without making it a big freaking deal. And then here's the thing that I can speak from experience. You have all of this energy, this extra energy, this expansion, this space to create, to try things, right? You're not afraid to try things because you know that if you mess up, it's not the end of the world. It's not even a big deal most of the time. You just get to try again, right? There are very few things in this life that you don't train for, right? Before you start to do them in life or death scenarios. Even a surgeon who's working life and death, they don't just start on a human being, right? They begin with the cadavers and, like 3D printed materials and freaking on, bananas. They practice their skills on a banana with low stakes so that mistakes can happen without the consequences, right? So give yourself some low stakes places to practice what it is you're doing and let it be part of the process. Oh, my friends, let's stop making ourselves wrong to give ourselves the space to create more of what feels right, what feels exciting, what feels expansive, and have a little bit more fun as we're moving through this life, right? Instead of crushing down our dreams and putting ourselves into that paralysis of perfection and idealism, how about we just make it fun, right? Turn it into a game, see what happens, and the only person you're competing with is yourself, so it doesn't have to be a competition either, but I have a little bit of competition energy that just like fuels me just enough. Like when I would go and work out at Orange Theory, the lady who was 30 years older than me didn't know that I was competing with her for the best time and speed on the treadmill. She didn't know. She didn't have to know. You don't have to make it a competition, but a little bit of that healthy motivation to spur you on that you can do with others or yourself is perfect. So that being said, let me know in the comments, have you been making yourself wrong for every little thing? And what kind of space do you think, like, how would your life shift and change if you made a little bit more space for the possibility of the perfection being in that lesson? So, I love you. This was fun. I just went on a tangent because I was walking to get the mail. And I was like, what if we just stopped making ourselves wrong for everything? What if we could just let it be? What if we could just be in the isness of life without putting all of these judgments upon it? How good would that feel? And so this is where we landed. I will see you all tomorrow, beautiful souls, have a beautiful time becoming more gentle with yourself, more encouraging, and let me know how it goes.